Wbrc photojournalist Cruz Johnson was there to capture it.
The 4th Avenue district was once the only place where black people could shop, eat, and own businesses. But now we're on the move, we're expanding, and we're thriving in the city's Uptown district.
This is a mini Black Wall Street.
That legacy lives on right here in Birmingham as black businesses are booming in Uptown. Business owner Rod Conwell keeps the dreams of those before him in mind.
They would say proud of you. They would say continuing again what was started, but it was a lot more difficult. Not that this was an easy road for us, but it was a lot more difficult then due to the times in which 4th Avenue, the blue light district, was coming along.
But it all started with the vision of barber Byron Watts on the legendary 4th Avenue.
It was all black down on 4th Avenue, and that's all we had.
He went on to open Nuke's Barbershop, bringing someone very special along the way.
My son decided that he's gonna bring me out of the house. I started at home working. He decided he wanted to get his own business and he wanted me to come.
Tell me where you got the idea to just even go into business with your mama.
Maybe 87, 88 would be Nuke's Barber Styling Shop. And then I think I added Loretta's Alteration.
Watts says that dream come true led them here.
Now we're down at the Uptown. Lord, moved us up to big time.
This is one of the things that Dr. Martin Luther King is not turning over, in his grave about. If he was to see how the black business, especially, it has come from 4th Avenue all the way up to Uptown, man, I think he'd really be marching and hooping and hollering in for real.
Business owners like Zebby Carney has his own flavor, bringing a piece of Nashville history to the Magic City.
Just see people smiling faces when they eat our product or when they go down to Uptown Jazz and K&J's, it's pretty special. We're doing something right.
That success is blazing a trail for business owners like Crystal Bryant.
Done a ton of celebrities' cakes. I mean, people reach out to me and we do stuff in other states. If they didn't do those things, we wouldn't be able to do what we want to do. We are able to live out our dreams because they made the sacrifices, and that makes me emotional.
We are not stuck in 1963. We are in 2024. It's great that they're taking notice, but it shouldn't stop there. We need the rest of the country to take notice on what Birmingham is doing.
And that progress does not have to end here. With the help of these business owners, continuing these legacies and opening up doors for the next generation. In Birmingham, I'm Bria Chapman, Wbrc, Fox 6 News on your side.
When they get the call,
fire.
Birmingham firefighters suit up in a moment's notice, putting on multi-layers of protection.
Unfortunately, it's a necessary evil that we have to wear this gear. It's what protects us when we go in these structure fires, so we have to have it.
New studies show textiles used to make protective coats and pants often contain measurable amounts of potentially cancer-causing PFAS or forever chemicals, according to the National Institute of Standards and Technology.
A firefighter's protective gear has 3 layers made up of different textiles. You have the outer shell, which is the one you see here, and then here is the moisture barrier, and then inside here, that's the thermal barrier. That's the one closest to the firefighter's body. And according to these studies, it's the wear and tear on this gear that can potentially release these forever chemicals.
Any hot embers, flame that they may get exposed to, this is their primary protection from that.
Studies show the 2 outer layers have the highest levels of PFAS, with the thermal barrier having the least amount.
What's actually touching us is less dangerous than what's on the outside, which is where most of your PFAs are contained, but it's still a concern.
Birmingham Battalion Chief Clay Hendon says the gear around their collar and hoods that cover their skin tend to hold forever chemicals. Those are the areas they are most concerned about.
The other issue is, you can get toxins by absorption. So it's on your skin, and you can actually absorb those chemicals through your skin, whether you're breathing it or not.
Hendon says over the past few years, the department has taken a more aggressive approach to try and reduce cancer rates among their personnel. A big thing is esophageal cancer screenings. Data shows firefighters have a 62% higher risk of developing this type cancer. Hendon showed us the steps firefighters now take after responding to a fire. They first used wipes to clean the areas around their gear.
They're designed to help neutralize and reduce some of these carcinogens and actually get them off their face, off their hands, the areas that gear doesn't protect.
They are then washed off on scene with this decontamination unit.
You get the pressure of hosing yourself down and it just starts washing all that stuff out of your gear and off of you. And then they don't have to put it back on.
Once they get back to the station, firefighters put their gear into a huge commercial washer.
And they can put up to 4 pieces of their gear in here at a time. So it takes a little time to get everybody's stuff through it.
The next step, this dual-purpose dryer.
It comes to this dryer. As you can tell, this actually flows air and heat through it, so it speeds up the process.
And now firefighter gear is not allowed inside the station.
We're doing a lot better at taking care of ourselves, keeping our gear clean, but back in the day, it would have been a lot different story.
House fires now burn hotter and faster than ever. The hidden health hazards that come along with that are burning through fire departments around the country, according to research from the International Association of Firefighters that says cancer rates among firefighters are skyrocketing.
15 years ago, you wanted the dirtiest gear. You wanted to, just because that's what you do. And now today, you think about all the bad stuff that's out inside the fires and stuff like that. So you want to take care of yourself and take care of your family.
A few years ago, we sat down with Hoover firefighter Randy Wiggins, who was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2016. His diagnosis came as somewhat of a surprise to the then 45-year-old. He's thankfully in remission, but felt his diagnosis could have been job-related.
It kind of makes you wonder that, no family history or anything like that, and we do. With all the materials that are made now, it's a lot worse than what it was 20 years ago.
Hendon says Birmingham has current and retired firefighters dealing with cancer, and that's why they are taking these studies seriously in hopes of preventing cancer among those who run into danger to save lives.
Unfortunately, you don't realize these hazards exist until people do get sick and you start recognizing trends, and that's when they start focusing on it. But obviously, anything we can do to keep our personnel safer and healthier, especially through their career and then into their retirement, that's significantly important for us.
Turn yourself in.
Shattered glass, flattened tires, bullet holes are all that's left to tell the story of what people who live in Monarch Ridge Apartments describe as a nightmare.
The guys that they brought out here opened fire on Asia because of the fight of the girl and her. And she was unresponsive.
Police say 21-year-old Asia Poole is dead after being shot Tuesday night at the apartment complex. The incident stems from a fight involving several people.
But do you know who they are?
Mm-hmm.
And you've told the police?
Mm-hmm.
So far, no one is in custody. The apartment complex is no stranger to violence. In 2021, the city of Birmingham sued the complex, formerly known as Valley Brook Apartments, over substantial criminal activity.
But for us just having security to where we feel safe and we know we're safe, no, we don't have that. And this is supposed to be a gated community.
Some of the agreed upon terms to come from that lawsuit were the complex to maintain license plate readers to be shared with the Birmingham Police Department, link surveillance cameras to the Real-Time Crime Center, and maintain security contracts for security patrols consisting of off-duty Jefferson County Sheriff's Office deputies.
They do have cameras, but I feel like there's no use for them.
So you got cameras there, camera there, and it looks like maybe one in the corner right there too.
It's unclear if the complex is holding up their end of the settlement agreement for this woman who's not showing her face out of fear of retaliation as she looks upon the shattered glass in her car and bullet holes throughout her apartment. She can only thank God no one else was killed.
What was that like hearing the fire?
Scary, because I have 4 children.
Day Sports Report with the Wbrc Fox 6 sports team.
Well, Alabama has a new head football coach, and while fans are definitely excited, they're still sad to see a legend go.
All week, students at the university have been honoring Coach Nick Saban, and as photojournalist Cruz Johnson shows us, they've done it in a way that only Alabama fans can.
We are here because we love Nick Saban and the University of Alabama and think he's done a wonderful job, and we appreciate him so much.
He it means a lot to show how much everyone in this city loves Nick Saban, and no matter if he's alive or dead, we will always want to pay tribute to the wonderful years this man spent at Alabama.
There's a potato that's just sitting there. I don't know the significance of it, but obviously it's very important.
It's just out there. It's living its best life, you know?
Potential. There's also 2 cannolis, a cake. I mean, what are we doing? He ain't dead. You feel me? Pushing condom right there, so I don't know what that's for, but it's probably weirdest.
Looking at all these pictures of this guy, it says like 4 beers on it, and they're like all over the place. So I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? So
I also love the Nick Saban candle. Great tribute to the man who's still alive.
No way. Definitely the weirdest thing is him shotgunning the gold Four Loko.
Loco is not the alcohol out here.
Do you bring anything out here?
A Slim Jim.
Or just one of the church candles, or people just left $5 bills and money in front of him. Anything is thoughtful for him to like pay for cover for a bar for him or something. It's always nice.
I think it would just have to be the piece of pizza. I don't know. A lot of really cute letters, but that's cute, not weird. What do you think? I'm in agreement.
I want to mention the duck.
Niggas are jello.
Buc-ee's meals on the floor.
Yeah.
How much work it took?
Not very much. We just like stuck it to a little flagpole and put it on there and then ripped it off.
A man of integrity, a coach of integrity. It's been wonderful for 17 years to have him as Alabama's head coach.
And we will never forget you.
Dear Heavenly Father, we are here today to pay tribute to all our heroes who, while wearing this country's uniform,
Order! Huh!
have fallen in the various battles throughout our country's history.
Dwayne was a paratrooper and a ranger. He served in the first Persian Gulf War, and he was a leader on the battlefield. I lived out my dreams of being a military hero by watching him jump out of airplanes as a paratrooper and a ranger. My last conversation with Dwayne was 2 days before 9/11 to let him know that I was having a son, and Dwayne, who was the best man at my wedding, we made plans to come visit him at the Pentagon, not knowing that 2 days later 9/11 would happen and life as we know it has changed. Well, if you happen to spend today, Memorial Day, having a cookout, enjoying family and friends, I want you to give your loved one a hug tonight. Let them know how much you appreciate them, because you never know what tomorrow may bring. When my brother started working at the Pentagon, he had no idea that 2 months later, that terrorists were going to hijack a plane and crash it into that building. So tomorrow's not promised.